Okay, it's part 4. Whereas if Caesar were to adopt you, your haughty looks would be intolerable. Will you not be elated at knowing that you are the Son of God? Now, however, it is not so with us. But seeing that in our birth these two things are commingled, the body which we share with the animals, and the reason and thought which we share with the gods, many decline towards this unhappy kinship with the dead, few rise to the blessed kinship with the divine, since then every one must deal with each thing according to the view which he forms about it. Those few who hold that they are born for fidelity, modesty, and unerring sureness in dealing with the things of sense, never conceive aught base or ignoble of themselves. But the multitude, the contrary. Why, what am I? A wretched human creature with this miserable flesh of mine, miserable indeed, but you have something better than that paltry flesh of yours. Why then cling to the one and neglect the other? Thou art but a poor soul laden with a lifeless body. The other day I had an iron lamp placed beside my household gods. I heard a noise at the door. On hastening down, found my lamp carried off. I reflected that the culprit was in no very strange case. Tomorrow, my friend, I said, you will find an earthenware lamp, for a man can only lose what he has. That is the sayings of Epictetus, the Enchiridion, the golden sayings. That's part 4, read by Candidate John. If you're enjoying this philosophy, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, share the video on your X account, on your Instagram story. That's right. This is called intelligence. Many people have never read this book. Hope you're enjoying. All right, part 4 or 5. We're going to try to get to 10 parts. The reason why I lost my lamp was that the thief was superior to me in vigilance. He paid, however, this price for the lamp, that in exchange for it he consented to become a thief, in exchange for it to become faithless. But God hath introduced man to be a spectator of himself and of his works, not a spectator only, but also an interpreter of them. Wherefore it is a shame for man to begin and to leave off where the brutes do. Rather he should begin then and leave off where nature leaves off in us, and that is at contemplation and understanding, and a manner of life that is in harmony with herself. See then that ye die not without being spectators of these things. You journey to Olympia to see the work of Phidias, and each of you holds it a misfortune not to have beheld these things before you die. Whereas when there is no need even to take a journey, but you are on the spot with the works before you, have you no care to contemplate and study these? Will you not then perceive either who you are unto, or unto what end you were born, or for what purpose the power of contemplation has been bestowed upon you? Well, but in life there are some things disagreeable and hard to bear, and are there none at Olympia? Are you not scorched by the heat? Are you not cramped for room? Have you not to bathe with discomfort? Are you not drenched when it rains? Have you not to endure the clamor, shouting, and such annoyances as these? Well, I suppose you set all this over against the splendor of the spectacle, and bear it patiently. What then? Have you not received powers wherewith to endure all that comes to pass? Have you not received greatness of heart, received courage, received fortitude? What care I if I am great of heart, for aught that can come to pass? What shall cast me down and disturb me? What shall seem painful? Shall I not use the power to the end for which I received it, instead of moaning and wailing over what comes to pass? There's a reading of Epictetus. It's part 5, read by Candidate John. Halfway there. We're doing 10 minutes of Stoic philosophy with Epictetus. If what philosophers say of the kinship of God and man be true, what remains for men to do but as Socrates did? Never, when asked one's country to answer, I am an Athenian or a Corinthian, but I am a citizen of the world. He that hath grasped the administration of the world, who hath learned that this community, which consists of God and men, is the foremost and mightiest and most comprehensive of all, that from God have descended the germs of life, not to my father only and father's father, but to all things that are born and grow upon the earth, and in an especial manner to those endowed with reason, for those only are by their nature fitted to hold communion with God, being by means of reason conjoined with him. Why should not such an one call himself a citizen of the world? Why not a son of God? Why should he fear aught that comes to pass among men? Shall kinship with Caesar, or any other of the great at Rome, be enough to hedge men around with safety and consideration, without a thought of apprehension? While to have God for our Maker, and Father, and kinsman, shall not this set us free from sorrows and fears? Okay, that's part 6 of Epictetus. This is Candidate John doing a meditation this morning with the Enchiridion, the golden sayings and discourses of Epictetus. Okay, this is part 7. I do not think that an old fellow like me need have been sitting here to try and prevent your entertaining abject notions of yourselves, and talking of yourselves in an abject and ignoble way, but to prevent there being by chance among you any such young men as, after recognizing their kindred to the gods and their bondage in these chains of the body and its manifold necessities, should desire to cast them off as burdens too grievous to be borne, and depart to their true kindred. This is the struggle in which your master and teacher, were he worthy of the name, should be engaged. You would come to me and say, Epictetus, we can no longer endure being chained to this wretched body, giving it food and drink and rest and purification, aye, and for its sake forced to be subservient to this man and that. Are not these things indifferent and nothing to us? Is it not true that death is no evil? Are we not in a manner kinsmen of the gods, and have we not come from them? Let us depart thither whence we came. Let us be freed from these chains that confine and press us down. Here are thieves and robbers and tribunals, and they that are called tyrants, who deem that they have after a fashion power over us because of the miserable body and what appertains to it. Let us show them that they have power over none. Okay, this is part 7. And to this I reply, friends, wait for God. When he gives the signal and releases you from this service, then depart to him. But for the present, endure to dwell in the place wherein he hath assigned you your post. Short indeed is the time of your habitation therein, and easy to those that are thus minded. What tyrant, what robber, what tribunals have any terrors for those who thus esteem the body and all that belong to it as of no account? Stay. Depart not rashly hence. Something like that. Something like that is what should pass between a teacher and ingenious youths. As it is, what does pass? The teacher is a lifeless body, and you are lifeless bodies yourselves. When you have had enough to eat today, you sit down and weep about tomorrow's food. Slave! If you have it, well and good. If not, you will depart. Door is open. Why lament? What further room is there for tears? What further occasion for flattery? Why should one envy another? Why should you stand in awe of them that have much or are placed in power, especially if they be also strong and passionate? Why? What should they do to us? What they can do, we will not regard. What does concern us that they cannot do? Who then shall still rule one that is thus minded? This is Candidate John reading the Enchiridion, the Golden Sayings of Epictetus. That's part 7. These are 60-second shorts for YouTube. We're reading the Stoic philosophy of Epictetus. I hope you're enjoying. Hit the like button. Subscribe now. Share the video. This is part 8. We're doing 10 parts. Seeing this then, and noting well the faculties which you have, you should say, Send now, O God, any trial that thou wilt. Lo, I have means and powers given me by thee, to acquit myself with honor through whatever comes to pass. No, but there you sit, trembling for fear certain things should come to pass, and moaning and groaning and lamenting over what does come to pass. And then you upbraid the gods. Such meanness of spirit can have but one result, impiety. Yet God has not only given us these faculties by means of which we may bear everything that comes to pass without being crushed or depressed thereby, but like a good king and father, he has given us this without let or hindrance, placed wholly at our own disposition, without reserving to himself any power of impediment or restraint. Though possessing all these things free and all your own, you do not use them. You do not perceive what it is you have received, nor whence it comes, but sit moaning, groaning, some of you blind to the giver, making no acknowledgement to your benefactor, others basely giving themselves to complaints and accusations against God. Yet what faculties and powers you possess for attaining courage and greatness of heart, I can easily show you. What you have for upbraiding and accusation, it is for you to show me. This is Candidate John reading Epictetus, the Golden Sayings, otherwise known as the Enchiridion. This is the school of Stoic philosophy. Philosophy and wisdom. Hope you're enjoying. Okay, this is part 9. How did Socrates bear himself in this regard? How else then as became one who was fully assured that he was the kinsman of the gods? If God had made that part of his own nature which he severed from himself and gave to us liable to be hindered or constrained either by himself or any other, he would not have been God, nor would he have been taking care of us as he ought. If you choose, you are free. If you choose, you need blame no man, accuse no man. All things will be at once according to your mind and according to the mind of God. Petrification is of 2 sorts. There is petrification of the understanding and also of the sense of shame. This happens when a man obstinately refuses to acknowledge plain truths and persists in maintaining what is self-contradictory. Most of us dread mortification of the body and would spare no pains to escape anything of that kind. But of mortification of the soul we are utterly heedless. With regard indeed to the soul, if a man is in such a state as to be incapable of following or understanding anything, I grant you we do think him in a bad way. But mortification of the sense of shame and modesty we go so far as to dub strength of mind. This is the Golden Sayings of Epictetus, read to you by Candidate John. That was part 9. We are just about completed. If you're enjoying this wisdom and philosophy reading room in the book club, hit that like button, share, subscribe, post this live stream to your Instagram, to your X account. Don't be ashamed. I'm reading a book for you, and I hope you're enjoying. Okay, this is part 10. Here we go. If we were as intent upon our own business as the old fellows of Rome are upon what interests them, we too might perhaps accomplish something. I know a man older than I am, now superintendent of the corn market at Rome. And I remember when he passed through this place on his way back from exile, what an account he gave me of his former life, declaring that for the future, once home again, his only care should be to pass his remaining years in quiet and tranquility. For how few years I have left, he cried, that I said you will not do. But the moment the scent of Rome is in your nostrils, you will forget it all. And if you can but gain admission to court, you will be glad enough to elbow your way in and thank God for it. Epictetus, he replied, if ever you find me setting as much as 1 foot within the court, think what you will of me. Well, as it was, what did he do? He ever entered the city. He was met by a despatch from the emperor. He took it and forgot the whole of his resolutions from that moment. He has been piling one thing upon another. Should like to be beside him to remind him of what he said when passing this way, and to add how much better a prophet I am than you. What then? Do I say man is not made for an active life? Far from it. But there is a great difference between other men's occupations and ours. A glance at theirs will make it clear to you. All day long they do nothing but calculate, contrive, consult how to wring the profit out of foodstuffs, farm plots, and the like. Whereas I entreat you to learn what the administration of the world is, and will place a being endowed with reason holds therein, to consider what you are yourself, and wherein your good and evil consists. Okay, this is Candidate John. We just read 10 parts of Epictetus. This is Wisdom and Philosophy, the Golden Sayings of Epictetus, the Enchiridion. Hope you've enjoyed it. I'm going to take a reading break. We're going to jump into a clubhouse room and see if it's possible to read 60 seconds of Tanya or 60 seconds of Toira. Can't see the rooms anymore.
Relationship with a woman from Bamber Bridge on May 28th.
So you had to get busy.
Okay. Can't really see anything, so we're going to shut this down and send this recording to the printers. Hope everybody has enjoyed. Thanks so much. Go to johnforcongress.com.